Hello and welcome to KMTV, your roundup of what's going on in Kent on Monday, July the 6th. An investigation's underway after a massive fire damaged around 30 homes in Canterbury. Demolition work has now begun. Jem Collins has more.
They were built just 10 years ago, but today little remains of these homes in Canterbury's Tannery development. Firefighters remained on the scene this morning and demolition started after a blaze ripped through the block of flats on Saturday, with at least 30 homes thought to have been affected and 16 of those described as suffering dramatic damage.
So mainly our house is it's just mainly water damage.
Yeah, they managed to stop the fire getting into the front bathroom, thankfully, but half our roof is gone, but I don't know what it looks like inside. We don't know when we're allowed to see it, so I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah, it's still not surreal though. It is surreal. I mean, it hasn't sunk in yet. I think it will sink in when I go in and look at the house if we're able to.
Although no one was hurt in the blaze, dozens of families have spent their second night away from home, as both the local council and their landlords have rallied round to offer support.
We've had around sort of 50 people through the rest centre. It's sometimes higher than that, but in terms of the number of units or buildings affected by this, it was around sort of 30 properties, but at various stages of the day we had different numbers.
Absolutely, we'll be taking control as soon as the fire service say they're ready for us to take control, and from that point on we'll secure the site and move forward with that. The support for residents will be there and ongoing.
The property developers have now launched an inquiry into how the flames started, but for those who've been left without a home, this is just the start of a very long journey. This is Jem Collins in Canterbury for KMTV.
A father who caused the death of his son in a crash on the A20 in Kent has avoided being sent to prison. Kieran Kaur reports.
Well, 7-year-old Alan Moser died at the scene near Hythe last August after the car his father was driving collided with a lorry after he drove on the wrong side of the road. 5 people, including his wife and their 2 other children, were also injured as the family returned from a holiday in France. One of the children suffered life-changing injuries. 43-year-old Abdul Moser from Leeds pleaded guilty to dangerous driving offences at an earlier hearing. He's been given a 2-year suspended sentence after the judge said he's already going to be punished every day for the rest of his life.
There's been a huge rise in the number of illegal immigrants trying to get into the UK through the port of Dover. 563 people were stopped by border police in 2014. That's nearly 4 times as many as the year before. Over the weekend, around 150 migrants tried to storm the Channel Tunnel terminal in France. Meanwhile, videos emerged of a group of suspected illegal immigrants getting out of the back of a lorry near Ashford. They've now been handed over to immigration officials. In other news, an investigation's underway after a man in his 40s died following a hit and run in Swanley on Saturday afternoon. 5 school governors at Hempstead Junior School in Medway have resigned, claiming they could no longer work with the current head teacher, Sharon Smith. And 42 teams competed against one another in the annual KM Dragon Boat Race at Moat Park in Maidstone over the weekend. It's the 7th year the event's been held, and it's hoped more than £80,000 will be raised for various charities. And finally, a church in Thanet has played host to Kenya's only bell ringing group so they can take the skills they learn back to their own country. Graham Stothard reports.
From Kenya to Kent and up a winding staircase, meet a group of people who have travelled thousands of miles to hone their hobby. 4 bell ringers who are part of the only bell ringing group in Kenya have travelled to Kent to perfect their art. So what's the key?
Actually, when you ring, you have to be there 100%. You forget about all the problems. Because you start thinking about problems, you will never make it. So you have to be there 100%. Concentration. Yeah.
So John and his friends have been bell ringing around Britain for about 2 weeks now. But the last 2 days they're spending here in Thanet is teaching people who don't know how to bell ring how to do so. The idea is that when they go back to Kenya, they can teach people in nearby communities as well as their own how to bell ring. But before teaching back home, they needed someone to practice on. Luckily, they had a keen volunteer.
The way you're going to hold this rope is that you hold as when you're holding the cricket.
I don't play cricket.
You don't play cricket? Okay, show you how to hold it.
Not great to start with, but I did get a little better, thanks no doubt to the things they'd learnt during their visit.
It's been hard work. We've been working a full day every day with very little respite. We've tried to vary the programme, keep them interested, but yes, it's been hard work, but they've improved.
And those skills will be vital when sharing them with others back home. Hopefully, though, they'll fare better than me. This is Graham Stothard for KMTV in Westgate-on-Sea. How are we stopping? Are we here forever?
Yeah. No.
There's more local news on KMFM, and you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. But that's it from KMTV.